Hey everyone, my name is Tyler, and welcome back to the St. Saviour's Virtual Youth Group. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you get notifications every time we post a new video. I am very excited to jump into today's topic. We have an amazing special guest today that I can't wait to introduce you to. Let's get started. Today's topic is health and nutrition. Health and nutrition is such an important topic. The way that we take care of our body and the food that we put into it is crucial to living a healthy lifestyle. It is all about eating healthy and staying active. Now, that might look different for each person, but I guarantee that if we were all more conscious and aware about what we put into our bodies, and if we all tried to do something active every single day, it would make a huge difference. Check out this video.
It's important to remember our physical health affects our mental health and vice versa. What we do to our bodies makes a big difference to how we feel. Physical activity, diet, alcohol, smoking and drugs can all affect our mental health and well-being in different ways. So let's talk about them. Physical activity releases feel-good hormones called endorphins, which help us sleep and feel better. It also improves our physical fitness, which tends to make people feel better in general. Even small amounts of regular physical activity can improve your mental well-being, especially if it's doing something you enjoy. Physical activity is even a recommended treatment for some types of depression. You can get active at your own pace in your own way. There's no need to join a gym or even spend any money. Simple small changes in our day-to-day can make all the difference. Taking a brisk walk at lunchtime or walking to get where we're going, getting active in the garden or cycling once or twice a week are great options. If there's a type of activity you used to enjoy, think about how you could pick it up again. For example, there are lots of local groups and sports teams open to all levels of ability. What's more, studies show that time in green spaces is beneficial. So head to your local park if you can. If you need a little help fitting more physical activity into your day, try the Active 10 app. It helps you get short bursts of brisk walking into your day. There's also the fantastic Couch to 5K app, which will get you up and running in just 9 weeks. Eating better can play a big role in our health and well-being. It won't come as a surprise to learn that what we eat and how much plays a big part in our physical health, which can impact our mental health too. Ideally, we should aim to eat a healthy, balanced diet with plenty of fruit and veg. It's important to keep an eye on your calories and minimize foods that are high in sugar, fat, and salt. For helpful tips on eating a better diet, check out the 1U website.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. This is my really good friend Brandy Cook, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her first. She is a personal trainer and a fitness enthusiast. She is a IPF state and national powerlifting champion in her age category, and she represents Baja California, Mexico. Today she's going to share with us a little bit about her weight loss journey and some nutrition tips and tricks and just why it's so important to live a healthy lifestyle. So the first question I have for you, Brandy, is if you could just tell us a little bit about that journey from, your weight loss and to a healthy lifestyle that you're living right now.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you, Tyler, for the honor and privilege of inviting me to be a part of this wonderful group that you have. And hello, everybody in the group. I don't know you, but if you're a friend of Tyler's, you're a friend of mine. Yeah, it's a real honor. Tyler, thank you so much for inviting me to share. Yeah, fitness enthusiast, that would be the perfect way to describe me. I battled obesity for 20 years. I'm 52 years old. I didn't start my health journey till I was 49 years old. So this is a big deal for me to be able to be in this position right now, to be able to talk to you guys and encourage you wherever you are in your journey. To begin with, how did this all get started? Well, like I said, I battled all kinds of disease, my weight, obesity for about 20 years, maybe a little bit more, but I'm just going to say 20 years to be safe. I was on so many medications, about $350 a month to be exact, at least here in Mexico. Everything from medicine for cholesterol, high blood sugar, hypothyroid. I had hypothyroidism, adrenal issues. I had stage 3 fatty liver disease, horrible psoriasis on my hands and feet where I had cut. I had Band-Aids on all of my fingers and my toes. I was in really bad shape for a long, long time, not to mention an incredible amount of stress for a lot of years. And during those 20 years, I probably did every diet out there. Everything from the low carb to the high carb to high protein, low protein, high fat, non-fat. I've done it all, wasted thousands and thousands of dollars, tons of hours, could never stick to anything. Just found myself year after year in places of failure and failure, struggle with body image. But I was just miserable because I could not stick to anything and nothing seemed to work for me. And all of the diets out there that were working for everybody else, either I couldn't do them or I would do them for a week and I couldn't stick with it. So make a long story short, when I was 49 years old, July 2017 to be exact, I was outside my house packing my car to go on a trip, and I fell down some stairs, and with all 216 pounds on my 5'2" frame, I fell and I broke my ankle. And I was completely not weight bearing at that time. I could not walk. I was a mess. And I went to the doctor the next day and of course got x-rays and the MRI and everything. And they said that I wouldn't be able to walk or be weight bearing for 4 months. And basically that was my come to Jesus moment, because after 20 years of struggling and not being able to stay consistent or disciplined, I found myself faced with the fact that if I did not make a change now or then, back then, that it wasn't going to happen. Of course, at that time, I had my husband to take care of and my son who was in a wheelchair, and I did not have the option of not walking for 4 months. The Lord had mercy on me. I got connected with a friend who was a trainer and physical therapist, and through his coaching and help, I was able to get back on my feet. But mainly, it was because of the Lord. He gave me a miracle, and in 3 weeks and 1 day, I was walking. At that point, I started with a personal program, working out in a gym. Very, very simple workouts. Nothing heavy, obviously. I was still recovering from this break in my foot, but I decided that I was going to design my own diet. And I want kind of shy away from the word diet, but I would rather say a nutrition plan, because after 20 years of fails, I kind of knew in my heart what I needed to do for myself. Long story short, I just decided to start and stay consistent. Thanks to God and him giving me mercy in that area. I started and I never stopped. The first 8 months, I lost 70 pounds. So through my nutrition plan that I designed, I was losing about 10 pounds per month, staying very strict to what I believe would work for me, and it did, and my workouts. And so that's kind of how it all got started.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, at that point, you knew your body, you knew that you needed to create a plan that was going to work for you. And like you said, there was
Right.
countless planned diets out there that just weren't cutting it, right? And because they weren't specific to your situation and your lifestyle.
Exactly. And not every diet works for everybody, and everybody's body's different. And so I knew that in order for this to work, I was going to have to design something that was going to be sustainable for me. So.
Yeah, and that leads us kind of to the next question, just about the importance of eating healthy. I know that you always talk about that being one of the most important parts, if not the most important part of losing weight and living a healthy lifestyle, is the food and eating healthy. Why is that part so important?
Tyler, fitness and getting strong and getting healthy and getting in shape is 20% workout or exercise or gym, whatever exercise one person chooses to get themselves involved in, and 80% nutrition. And that's the bottom line. It's 80% food. That's the hardest part. Look, I train 6 days a week, 3 hours a day. Those 3 hours that I spend hard training, weightlifting in the gym are so much easier than the rest of the hours in the day that I have to be disciplined and consistent in my food. But if you don't make a change in the kitchen, you're not going to see it reflected on your body. You could definitely develop muscle tone, or you might not be able to see the muscle tone if you have a high body fat percentage, but you can get stronger and you can get cardiovascularly healthier if you're doing cardio and things of that nature and stuff. But if you're not changing the food, you're not going to see the results that you want to see. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's 80% of it, and it's so important about what you're putting into your body.
Absolutely.
And I think another thing that I think is so amazing too, which you didn't mention, but I've heard you say before, is that after you started eating healthy, losing all this weight, you were off all that medication. Your liver was completely clear of anything fatty.
Yeah. And these are all doctor lab result, ultrasound proof. After the first year, obviously, if you're taking so much medication, like I don't advise, like you just stop your medication, obviously. So, but in my particular case, after about a year, I realized my body felt completely different. I felt like I literally had taken I went 20 years off my life. Like I felt 20 years younger.
Yeah.
And so I know for sure. Like I wanted to see what the lab results said, what the doctor said. And so I had my full panels done, and everything that I was taking medication for was back to normal. I no longer had hypothyroidism. I no longer had high cholesterol. My blood sugar was totally and completely normalized. All the psoriasis, like I had spent so much money on doctors and creams and treatment for the psoriasis, like thousands of dollars. Nothing worked. Nothing. My psoriasis completely cleared up. And one of the biggest things for me is that I had stage 3 fatty liver disease. And so when I went back for the ultrasound, the doctor said that I had the liver of a youth without one trace of fat. So, and I did not take any medication to lose weight. I didn't take any weight loss pills. And what I tell people all the time is I didn't take any powders, any potions, any pills. This was all 100% clean food, cleaning up my diet with a few hacks actually several hacks that I designed, and a little bit about the timing and a little bit about food combining, but all with food and all with nutrition and training came off. Every single one of my medications. I'm 52 now. I haven't taken medicine since I was 50, after that first year. So that would have been like July 2018. That would have been a year from when I started, completely med-free and feeling great. Like you mentioned, like I'm state and national powerlifting champion, which was never in a million years that I think that I would ever be a powerlifter, especially lesbian champion for state and national champion, but I am. And all natural. The federation that I belong to, it's all anti-doping, so you cannot take any steroids. So this is all 100% natural. And it's been an amazing journey. And I'm 52 and I feel in my 20s. So
amazing. Yeah, it makes such a big difference.
Healthy 20s.
Healthy 20s.
Yeah.
So because it's a youth group, I want to connect it back to youth, of course. And so why should young people start, taking care of their bodies from a healthy, from a young age? Why is that such an important part?
If I knew then what I know now, if I knew what I know now at 52, if I knew at 22, my life would have been completely different. Completely different. If you start your healthy eating and your consistency and discipline now, first of all, number one, most importantly, you are going to prevent and avoid so many diseases, illnesses. Just it's prevention. Mm-hmm. From a young age, if you start being consistent, disciplined, and that doesn't mean that you're never going to eat a pizza again, that you're never going to eat hamburgers and french fries again. It means you're not going to eat them every day. Like you are going to make conscious decisions to choose what is healthy and what is going to help your body. And that is going to prevent disease, because a lot of disease prevention comes from food and nutrition and what we're taking in our bodies. There's so many different things that are out there right now that they contribute. They contribute to all of these illnesses. And if you start now when you're young, you are going to be able to avoid, I mean, obviously not everything. I mean, we live in a fallen world and there are things that are going to plague us. But for the most part, for a high percentage of it, you're going to be able to avoid disease, and you're going to be able to avoid being overweight, which starts on that. I mean, it's a myriad of problems with that, from mental issues to emotional issues and depression and everything like that.
Mhm.
Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention, like just so many years of being depressed because I wasn't happy with myself. And
Right.
all of the positive talk, and oh, just accept yourself the way you are, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, I do understand that point of view, accept yourself the way you are. But if you're not happy with yourself from inside, all the positive thinking in the world is not going to change that. You're the only person that can change that. And from a young age, my recommendation is if you have it, if you have the desire to change and you know that you aren't feeling good about yourself, start now, because it all begins with you and no one else can do that except for you.
Yeah, and it's exactly like you said. It's nothing. You're not cutting out anything completely, and that's a good way to look at it. If you are a young person, it's moderation, it's balance, and it's like you said, being conscious and aware of what's going in your body.
You know, I wish I would have listened to my grandma when I was young. I remember, I think I probably was in high school. She said something to me, and here all these years later, I still remember. She said, okay, before you put anything in your mouth, before you eat anything, before you drink anything, ask yourself two questions. Two questions. Question number one, will this help me? Number two, will this hurt me? Okay, so let's think about that. Will this help me? Is what I'm about to put in my mouth, what I'm about to eat, what I'm about to drink, is this going to help me reach my goals?
Right.
Is this going to help me on the path to better health and strength? Or is this going to hurt me? Is this going to hinder me? Is what I'm about to ingest right now, is this going to hinder me in reaching the goals that I want to reach?
Or set you back. Yeah.
Two, grandma's wisdom. Grandma's wisdom. Will this help me? Will this hurt me?
Seems
And
simple.
yeah, exactly. And so like all these years later, those questions came back to me. And so that really helped me when I was designing my own program for myself. When I was asking myself, what should I eat? What should I drink? How should I do this? And grandma's words definitely came back to me. And it's
Yeah,
just, grandma always knows best. So.
that's true. So for somebody who's maybe looking at starting, on a healthier lifestyle, maybe looking for different ways, it can sometimes seem daunting, right? It can sometimes seem like a really big undertaking and a big task to start and jump into. What is some of the easiest and simple ways to just start, to get you started? What are the first kind of steps that you would recommend?
Okay. Well, my husband has a great saying, and he says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite, right?
One
Okay.
bite at a time. Yeah.
Right. So the thing is you don't, first of all, I would recommend that you don't get overwhelmed with the process. Okay. I was able, because I had struggled with this for 20 years, and I had studied and I had all these diet files. I knew what I needed to do. So for me, I went cold turkey. That was the way that was easiest for me. Not everybody could do cold turkey. Okay. So in answer to your question, my suggestion would be looking at your diet and what you're eating right now and what you know you shouldn't be eating, and cutting those things out and replacing them with healthier choices. For example, three of the main things that I started with were white flour, refined sugar, and bad oils. Okay, so those were my first three things that I cut out of my diet and I replaced. Okay, so for example, when I cut out white flour, white sugar, and oils and replaced them with what I could here in Mexico and in my local community, the weight started coming off immediately. Like I said, I was losing 10 pounds of fat a month. That is a lot of weight in a month, but it was not hard. I was eating enormous amounts of food throughout the day. I was just eating wise, and I was
Right. And
choosing
it's
to
very
avoid those
telling.
things. So
It's
that's
very telling as to where the weight gain comes from, mainly from those things like the white
right.
flour, the refined sugars.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people think that, because it's high calorie in, like, say, proteins or whatever, that they're going to gain weight from that. No, a lot of the weight gain comes from bad carbohydrates. And a lot of people, and that's where a lot of the blood sugar problems come from, a lot of the cholesterol problems come from, is unhealthy carbohydrate intake. Now, I eat carbs. I have a heavy workout. I cannot sustain my workouts without carbs. So I'm not an anti-carb person at all. I am a healthy carb person, and I eat my healthy carbs before and after my workout, and the rest of the day I stick to my vegetable salads and protein. But yeah, I would definitely suggest, for starters, that people just start with an inventory. Like, maybe make a diary, make a note, like, okay, what am I eating every day on the average? Okay. And maybe do that for like 3 to 5 days. And then they can go back and look at their diary and say, oh wow, okay, well, this is what I ate this day, this is what I ate this day. And then maybe, if people, I do count calories. I didn't in the beginning. I count calories now. My Fitness Pal is a fantastic tool that people can use. It's free. They can download it free on their phone, myfitnesspal.com, and they can put in their weight loss goals. For example, if they want to lose 1 to 1.5 to 2 pounds a week, MyFitnessPal will break it down, and it will teach them how to enter their food intake and keep them calorie accountable. And you can also buy an extra thing for like $5 a month to count macros if people are into that. And I do that, but that's something that I don't totally recommend in the beginning, because it's a little bit more advanced level. But yeah, cutting out the bad stuff. We know what's bad. I think that as human beings, we know, if we look at two things and we say, okay, this slice of pizza that is like ladled with grease and cheese and yummy, all toppings, everything. I love pizza, but I'm just saying, okay. So it's like all the, the pepperoni and the sausage and everything like that. Or this one slice of pizza, or we've got this huge, beautiful spinach salad with lean protein chicken breast on top with all kinds of vegetables. We've got healthy olive oil dressing with some nuts and seeds. Basically, maybe same calorie count. However, you get this much food on your plate from the salad, and you get a little tiny slice of pizza in here. What's the nutritional difference, right? So I think that we have that God has built that wisdom inside of us. We just need to make the right choice.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. One of the things to do is, whether it's with an app like MyFitnessPal or whether it's just in a notebook, is just writing down what you're eating every day, what you're putting into your body for a week, right? And just see what that looks like. Because I think sometimes we don't even know. We know subconsciously, we just go about our regular diet.
Yeah, exactly. And grabbing things here and here, and and the other thing is like food prep, right? So like, me, I'm big into food prep. And so for me, with my busy lifestyle and my schedule, if I don't do food prep, I'm gonna have the temptation, just like anybody else, to grab for whatever. And so if you spend 4 hours twice a week preparing your meals in those nice little food prep boxes with the little dividers and stuff, and you have 3 meals a day prepped, it makes such a difference with you sticking to your nutrition program, because you can make the right decision, the conscious decision ahead of time, and then you just grab and go, and no battle.
Awesome. Well, I think the last question I want to ask you is, if you have any advice to young people who are struggling with their confidence or their body image because of eating or because of their health or whatever it is.
Well, I struggled with body image for so long. That's a very personal question, and a question that's very close to home for me. I know what it feels like to feel miserable. I know what it feels like to go to bed at night feeling bad, waking up in the morning not wanting to socialize because you're struggling with your body image, not wanting to go and be around people. I understand all that. And as hard as this may sound, we are the only people that can change ourselves. No one else is going to do it for you. All those years that I stayed overweight, nobody was forcing food down my mouth. Nobody was opening my mouth and making me eat those foods. So basically, when you're struggling with body image, and this is from personal experience, it comes back to taking personal responsibility and making right decisions, not kicking yourself for yesterday.
Right.
But from this moment forward, making the choice to make the right decisions and move forward with the Lord's help. Like everything that you decide, whatever it is you decide, like I am not a proponent of one diet over another because like I said, everybody's body's different. But one thing is the same for all of us is that we are in need of our Creator to help us. So number one starting point, start on your knees, asking the Lord to give you the strength to do it, asking the Lord to give you the wisdom. What is it? What is His will for you as far as what nutrition program you're going to choose and stick to? And get in the Word. Start getting in the Word. Start doing word studies on discipline, right? Because the Lord gives us the gift of boundaries and discipline for a purpose. And just like children, we're happier when we stay within those boundaries, right? And what happens is when we stay within those boundaries and we stay within that lifestyle of discipline, we start becoming a lot more confident in ourselves, but in a healthy sort of way. I started seeing a change mentally and emotionally the first week I decided to make change. And so, back to body image. Don't kick yourself for yesterday. You are where you are. Great. Use it and let the Lord use it in your life and other people's lives to move forward. So don't stay in a place where you are so depressed of how you got to where you are. Let the Lord turn it around. And from this moment forward, decide to turn around and go forward. And you make the choice to be disciplined and consistent. And that's what I would say to anybody who's struggling with body image, that we've all been there, or most of us have been there. And it's a very painful thing, but let the Lord turn those ashes into beauty, and you make the decision to go forward with Him and change it.
Thank you again so much to Brandy Cook for sharing her story and her passion for healthy eating and living a healthy lifestyle. Like she said, it is so important to be aware of what you are putting into your body, and it is all about finding that balance. Living a healthy lifestyle can seem overwhelming at times. Check out this video by Dr. Mike and see what he thinks are the 5 most important things that you can do to stay healthy and live a long life.
Hey guys, I'm really passionate about living a healthy lifestyle for myself, for my patients, and of course for you at home. But there's so much misinformation out there when it comes to what healthy lifestyle truly means. So I want to set the record straight. Let's begin. A few weeks ago, I read about a study coming out of Harvard School of Public Health that showed if you followed 5 healthy lifestyle habits, you could potentially increase your lifespan by over a decade. What were these healthy lifestyle habits? Can you guess?
Regular medical evaluation.
Because then that would help me build more hours, but no.
Meditating.
Okay.
Don't smoke.
Yes. Healthy eating.
2? You got 2?
Let's just see.
Exercise.
Exercise is in there.
So important.
Don't drink excessively.
And then maintaining a healthy weight, but that's kind of assumed with the diet and exercise.
Okay. Harvard researchers actually looked at 34 years of almost 80,000 women and 27 years of almost 45,000 men. That's a lot of years and a lot of people.
You are technically correct.
The results of this study are truly remarkable. If you take a woman age 50 who follows 0 out of 5 of the healthy lifestyle habits, she's expected to live to age 79. But if you take a woman who's age 50 but follows 5 out of 5 of the healthy lifestyle habits, she will live on average to 93. That's a 14-year difference. And the results for men were quite similar. How dope is that, bruh? Let me repeat this even more clearly. If you follow 5 out of 5 of these healthy lifestyle habits, you can potentially increase your lifespan by up to 14 years if you're a woman and 12 years if you're a man. I want to be a realist. It's hard to follow all 5 of these lifestyle habits all the time. Sometimes it's not easy to eat healthy or to always exercise. What about for you? What's the hardest one of these 5 for you to follow?
It is never too early or too late to start practicing some new healthy habits in your life. Be aware and conscious of what goes into your body. Try and do something active every single day. Be consistent and always push yourself to do better. Don't feel like you have to be perfect. Eat the pizza, have that slice of cake, but make sure to find a balance in your life that makes you feel good about yourself and confident in your own body. That's it for today. Thanks for checking out the St. Saviour's virtual youth group. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications every time we post a new video. Thanks again. Stay safe and stay home. See you next week.